Hey, I'm Mel.
And I'm Cody.
And we run Speedwell Farm Gardens.
What got us into farming initially was probably some of the harder times I had kind of post high school, late teenage, early 20 years. Found myself living out of my car on the streets and really falling in love with food. When you have moments when you don't know where your next meal is going to come from, when you're struggling for that nutrition, food becomes the forefront of your daily activity. From there, falling in love with ingredients, falling in love with cooking, meeting Melissa, all these things just started snowballing. We're both plant people by nature. Also, what brought us to farming was knowing that we wanted to have a family eventually. And what did we want that to look like? What did we want to pass along? What did we want to help inspire and nurture in ourselves, in our community, and in our children? This is an Italian cornetto, very similar to a Carmen, super delicious Italian sweet pepper, great for frying, great for stuffing, probably one of our best-selling peppers, and not to mention one of the tastiest. Farming is just so innately human to cultivate, participate, just like accentuate the patterns and the things that are happening around us in nature. It gets deeper and deeper for me every year. Obviously, how it supports our lifestyle. We can be eating the best quality food. We can be bringing the best quality food to our customers and our community. I don't think farming is something that ever goes away. We have to eat. We have to be participating in agriculture as humans in order to sustain ourselves as beings. And that is the most powerful thing I've come across personally. And it just so happens that everybody appreciates it. And, you eat 3 times a day. These plants that we focus so much on, the soil that we focus so much on truly becomes the folks that eat it. We grow a sweet pepper. My child eats that pepper. Those nutrients and fibers become my child. It's an amazing process. We're really driving towards how do we make this farm a closed loop system where the waste products we're producing here, whether it's seconds peppers, plants coming out of the field, and turn that back into fertility for the farm. And I think that just continues to wrap into this idea of, being a positive impact for this next generation as one of our biggest lessons, and trying to understand how we can rely less on external inputs from the farm, external fertilizers, any type of fertility. I think we can produce here, and we're just kind of starting to experiment with that and get to know it. Quality is a byproduct of our attention to the systems. There is no choice but to have the highest quality produce if your focus is the most ethical, circular idea of how you're stewarding and nurturing that soil. Who wouldn't want to be a participant in that system?
When you're eating this quality product, you are sort of like becoming that, and you feel better. Like it has this like rippling effect. And I think one important thing that we think about a lot is like good quality food should be available to everybody. So while you can sell high quality food for the highest price, and by being able to do that, we are able to then offer our high quality food to people who aren't able to afford that type of food normally. And I think that's really important to our mission, and what we're doing is like allowing quality to be accessible to everybody. It really starts with what you're able to eat and what you're able to put in your body.
That quality aspect that we've spoken about, you can tell the difference between that King Soopers carrot, that grocery store carrot, and that farmer's market carrot. You can feel it, you can see it, you can taste it. And when you eat it, your body knows as well, like, wow, this is real. This is life, this is vitality. This is what we're supposed to do. We don't need to feed 8 billion people. We need to feed 1,000 people right here. And that farm 5 miles away needs to feed 1,000 people right there. And when we break up the system that we've been sold and have many small farms throughout every region, you know, we've then created a new food model.
I had no idea how incredible and thriving the farming community is here in Boulder County, especially amongst young farmers. We have this incredible movement of young farmers in Boulder County that is just growing. I had no idea about when we started farming in 2017. Yeah, we're so fortunate to be surrounded by lots of young farmers as well who are also starting families and on this journey together.
That resilience in community with agriculture as the vehicle, I think is gonna prove to be one of the most important things we can cultivate. And that pulls me out of bed every day. That keeps me going. Yeah, I get to watch the sunrise if I get out early enough and the elk herd will run through. But when you boil it down and when I pull back all the layers, it's building that resilient community that doesn't need anyone or anything to continue to thrive, but participation. And it's just like the most inspiring thing every day, for sure.